What show am I doing tonight? That's a really good start, isn't it? Yeah, welcome to the late Monday Night Raw wrap-up show with me, your host, Geek Boy Letter. Yeah, sorry that I was a couple of minutes late. It's still being completely insane over the Christmas period, and I have no idea what it is anymore. I have no idea, barely even what my name is, or what show I'm even actually doing. I'm actually trying to put on Match of the Day at the minute, so I can put this on in the background. Yes, I am here to talk about pro wrestling and in specifically Monday Night Raw, but I'm kind of like this is a really stupid thing to say. I'm kind of really out of practice with doing this at the minute, so just bear with me because I'm a bit discombobulated. I hope everyone's enjoyed Christmas. Hope you get ready for New Year. Match of the Day's already started. That isn't cool. Anyway, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed your Christmas. Hope you enjoyed the footage that I put on the other day of all the Christmas presents. Hope you got everything that you wanted. That's my Jay Lethal shirt, by the way. And yeah, I all had a really, really good time. Been a good Christmas for us, not too bad. I'm just going to see Danny Welbeck take his penalty. Oh, yeah, this is what he scored for. Um, yeah, just I hope everyone's had a really good Christmas, basically, and New Year. Well, not quite New Year. Yet. Just to let you guys know that this will be on YouTube Live. YouTube Live. Wow, this is going very well so far, isn't it? This show will be on YouTube Audio, and it will also be on YouTube videos. There, got it right. Brilliant, nice one. Um, Probably ready for download. I would have thought around midday tomorrow, something along the lines. So if you're not tuning in tonight, you're more than welcome to watch the show tomorrow. Just exclude the first 2 minutes because it's been shocking so far. Like I said, I'm not in practice with this at all, to be honest, because, like I said, I've been back to work. Then I've had Christmas off. I think I've done one live show in about maybe a week or something like that, something along the lines. So yeah, I'm completely out of practice with this now, so I do apologise. But yeah, let's get into it. So basically, yesterday on Raw, the Vision came out with their newest member, Austin Theory. Yeah. I'm not. Let me just adjust my camera slightly as well. Yeah, the Austin Theory thing. I'll give it a chance, like I always do. Give these things a chance, but I'm not necessarily thrilled slash intrigued by that because the guy was basically dropping out with Grayson Waller about 4 months ago, and now we're meant to think that he's like some massive talent. I mean, don't get me wrong, Austin Theory is a very talented bloke, but I'm like, why has he been promoted over other people? Like, why are we not concentrating on people like I don't know off the top of my head, Joe Hendry or someone like that. The thing of like, oh yeah, let's just put make Austin Theory like a massive threat straight away. Yay! It's like, well, you need a bit of a build up for that. I mean, I get the fact he's the masked man and he's been like doing the Seth Rollins stomp on people, and that's lovely. But there's just been no build to it, to be honest. So that's my kind of my issue with it. Anyway, long story short, Theory comes out with the Vision. And Heyman sat there cutting a promo. It's the usual Paul Heyman snarky promo, basically bigging up all of the Vision, and then all of a sudden CM Punk comes out. Punk got like a really, really good pop as well, by the way. Fair play to the crowd. The crowd seemed very young, so I don't know if it's whether people are getting the Christmas present of Raw over the holiday period or something like that, but it seemed a very young crowd, but they all seemed very, very delighted to see CM Punk. Um, and yeah, it was a pretty good promo battle between Braun and CM Punk. I thought Braun really held his own. Look, he's not as good as cutting a promo as Punk. Obviously, it goes without saying. Swig of Star Wars water, by the way. Um, but no, he really, really held his own, and it was. I quite like the line when he was just like, um, "You look at me and you think I've had it easy." I'm paraphrasing, obviously. You look at me and you think I've had it easy all my life because basically I'm a Steiner, but I've had to work hard for everything that I've got, and he made a reference to an American football team. I believe I know. Look, I know nothing of American football, frankly, so I don't even know what name he used. And basically said, so, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like there is levels to this, and you're not on my level. And then Punk basically, as you would expect, just cutting down with like a his promo back to him. I am really looking forward to seeing CM Punk and Bron Breakker. It's one of the matches that I've wanted to see for a very, very long time. I, I get the opening show of Netflix now has turned into its own PLE kind of thing in respect of um, they're trying to hype it up as a really, really big thing. It's the first Raw to start the year, and it's the anniversary of Netflix, and obviously they're going to be a bit kissing Netflix's arse kind of thing. So I get that they want to make it into a big show, and that's perfectly fine. Let me have a look. Ask Akilaski. Uh, Dude, I'm very sorry. Glasses, dreadful. Um, Akilaski. I'll just call you Ak, dude. I'm really sorry. I'm not mispronouncing your name on purpose. My vision at the moment is absolutely rubbish. So many, many apologies. But hi, how you doing, mate? You're all right. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's just an old man shouting at the clouds, basically. Look, what I'm getting at is I would have liked Bron Breakker versus CM Punk to have been at something like a SummerSlam or a Money in the Bank or something along them lines. Yeah, there we go. Akbar Ali, good morning. Good morning, big boy. How do you know, lad? Um, hello, Akbar. How you doing? You all right? Yes. Oh, thanks, Aki. I'm just going to call you Aki because, like I said, dude, I honestly, my vision is, excuse my language, my vision is shit. Basically, at the minute, I need new glasses. I've got no idea what's going on half the time, which is not great when you're trying to do something like this. But there we go. Daddy, Diddy Young, Diddy. Don't compare me to that person, Knight Rider. You're speaking to a huge Tupac fan. I am not a massive fan of that man, to say the very least. There we go. Really nice house. Yeah, yeah, house is all right. It's not too bad. It's got it's got four walls. And the roof doesn't leak, and it's got a TV, and I can put beer in the fridge. So yeah, it's okay. You need four eyes or Ali, not Aki. Oh, okay, cool, nice one. Um, Thanks, dude. Cheers. He's just showing a plain wall. Bet it's a council house, two bedroom. It is a Night Rider actually. It's not a council house at all. But thank you for asking. It's actually a townhouse, lad. So I can't be asked to decorate it, to be honest. I'm very minimalist. Anyway, what else happened on Raw? So, like I said, I'm not the most organised person in the world, so I'm actually reading from that. There we are. Yeah, so after the CM Punk thing, we had Nikki Bella, Stephanie Bakir, and oh yes, Raquel Rodriguez. Can you see me saying stuff? I can do. I can do it. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, I can see you all now. I can see the lines. It's just with your names, like my site is so absolutely horrendous, to be honest. Oh yeah, okay. I think we'll put that guy on timeout. There we go. I don't really fancy to be compared to P Diddy, for a fairly obvious reason. Um, Android quality. Yeah, doing the best I can do. Yeah, this is what I've got. Let's have a look. So yeah, Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vakir and Raquel Rodriguez. Match was okay. I actually do really like Raquel Rodriguez. I think she's absolutely freaking awesome at the minute. I suppose. Oh dear. Oh dear. There goes another one. Anyway. Yeah. Guys who are watching, by the way, this is something that I serially get with just flaked out little weirdos who want to come onto my stream and chat shit, basically. I know this is YouTube etiquette. I don't deal with idiots. I could say far worse. So if you're going to come on and chat shit, I will just block you. Simple as that. If you want to do that, sweetheart, you go on to someone else's stream. Yeah, I'm from the 90s. Say it how it is. Be gone. Oh, thank you very much, mate. That's very, very decent of you. Very, very decent of you, mate. Yeah, welcome aboard, lad. Um, yeah, the Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vakir, Raquel Rodriguez thing, it was okay. Like I said, I really like Raquel. I would like to see her get a run with the belt eventually. I think she's got a really good upside. I think she's been one of the most improved wrestlers of the year. Really, really enjoy her work a lot. The Stephanie Vakir thing, I really think she could do with having something to sink her teeth into in terms of a big feud because she just seems to be coasting a little bit. I'm not sure about this whole Nikki Bella thing. No offense to Nikki Bella, but most of the people who subscribe to me know I am not. Oh, let's have a look. You ain't doing anything like that with all that weight. You'll run out of breath. Ha ha! And that's why your name is unknown. Bye. Anyway, I'm assuming that that's the same person with another one of his YouTube accounts. That's fine. Diddy, Onk, whoever you are, I will just keep blocking you. If you push it too far, Sunshine, I will report you. So you're more than welcome to come back on. Simple as that. Yeah, but yeah, it was it was a decent match. Nothing to write home about. Then yeah, I mean to be honest, folks, the actual I was going to say this at the start, to be honest, I actually forgot. The I didn't think Raw was brilliant, if I'm being completely honest. Look, I've loved Raw pretty much all of this year. It's probably one of the best years of Raw that I've seen for many, many years. I'd go as far to say 70% of the Raws that I've watched this year have been absolutely brilliant. Which, I mean, I can't remember the last time I said it was probably the Attitude Era. The last time I said something like that. It's been a long, long time since they've had that consistency. I didn't think that was particularly brilliant last night, but again, I take the point. It is the holiday season. They are now getting ready for the road to WrestleMania. I mean, basically, the road to WrestleMania basically starts from next week. I mean, which is insane because, yeah, bye. Anyway, wow, we're having one or two technical issues tonight, kids, aren't we? Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. If you keep coming on chatting shit, I will just remove you. Anyway, yeah, there was a whole bit with Gunther and R-Truth. That's kind of where the whole thing with the quality of Raw came from, because it's like Gunther really needs to capitalise on this heat that he's got after the whole John Cena thing. And I'm not sure necessarily whether a feud, even if it was just for a night with R-Truth, is necessarily the best way of going about that. To be completely honest, I would have liked them to do a follow up maybe with AJ Styles or something along them lines. When they had the little beef the other day, I'm sure they'll go on to it. I mean, I'm guessing my prediction is I'd be very surprised if Gunther does not win the Royal Rumble. As in, I'd be astonished if he didn't win the Royal Rumble, to be quite honest. Sugar water. Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if they don't win if he didn't win the Royal Rumble, or at least he's going to be in the sort of, he's got to be in the conversation for it. Surely you'd imagine after just having the thing with Cena. So yeah, there was that. Then you had the Kabuki Warriors coming out. That that actually was quite funny, to be honest, because I don't want to be rude, and it's nothing to do with their accents or anything with Oscar or Kyrie or being Japanese. I'm just throwing out there right now. They came out and they looked like a pair of fellas round the corner from mine who basically got drunk of and were just like singing away in the streets. Like Oscar looked literally like she's had 3 or 4 ales at the ale house around the corner. Honestly, some of the things they were coming out with, I'm honest, I was in absolute bloody hysterics. But basically, Rhea and Io Sky come out, and they had a whole schmoz and like a bit of a brawl. You thought that the Kabukis would do them over again, but Rhea actually got the last word with the I can't remember what they did actually. I think she just did a drop kick on Oscar and got him out of the ring. Anyway, they basically stood tall, which is basically wrestle speak for Rhea and Oscar will be losing to the Kabuki Warriors next week on Monday Night Raw. And then I'm assuming basically Rhea and Io will probably start splitting again with the Royal Rumble in mind. I would Rhea Ripley is my pick to in the Royal Rumble for a start off, so I think basically it might end up with her and Io Sky at the end of the Rumble. Um, yeah, so they're gonna have to start winding these feuds up eventually and stuff. So just by going from the Kabuki Warriors, if they go over against Rhea, one would imagine that CM Punk will go over on Bron Breakker. Now, if Rhea and Io end up winning, one would then imagine that there is every possibility that Bron Breakker might actually beat CM Punk. Now, I have huge questions about that because, like, well, I mean, what are we doing with Punk? It all feels like it's going to build up to something next week, and like, if Bron does go over, I mean, you're surely thinking it's gonna have to be something big that gives Braun the title. I just don't think he goes over clean, because if he goes over clean on Punk, then it makes Punk not look like an idiot, obviously, but like he hasn't got an out kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's something to do with Brock Lesnar. To be honest, and maybe Brock ends up helping the Vision, and then Brock ends up having a feud with Punk or something along them lines. I know they've done that before, but obviously it wasn't for a very long time back in the day. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's very very intriguing what's going to happen next week. Yeah, so you had the Gunther R-Truth match. That was, yeah, it was what it was. It wasn't. I mean, I didn't think any of the matches last night were particularly. There's nothing that I would look at and go, "Wow, that would go in my year's top 10." I mean, I just watched AEW World's End at the weekend, and like, I mean, it was night and day. And that's not a knock on WWE before anyone says tribalism or anything like that. But the quality of wrestling that I saw on Saturday night for AEW compared to the last night, I mean, it literally was night and day. Um, what else do we have? Oh, there was another promo for Obafemi, which I'm really, really pleased about. Personally, I'm hoping Oba goes to SmackDown because they desperately, desperately need some stars on that show. I would be sending, I'd be sending Blake Monroe, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Obafemi. I'd probably put Javon Evans on Raw and have him in sort of like a mid card, but NXT's got that many talents coming through. I literally would have, like, I would just like bleed them dry and put them on a whole big roster to go to SmackDown. SmackDown desperately needs some stars. You need people to work with Dragoff. You need people to work with, obviously Cody. It goes without saying, because the quality on SmackDown the last, what are we talking, the last 3 or 4 months has been shocking, absolutely shocking. Probably since SummerSlam. So yeah, hopefully Obafemi goes there. If he goes to Raw, then that's absolutely fine. It's just like they can't job Obafemi out. This man is a beast and a monster, and he needs to be treated as such. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with Jacob Fatu as well when he comes back. Again, I would probably put Fatu on SmackDown, to be honest. And then they've got a lot more talent on that show. I mean, I don't know how long Jacob's out for, but he must have been out for at least 2 or 3 months by now already. So you would imagine he's going to come back for the Royal Rumble. Obviously, you've got LA Knights out at the minute. I actually think, for turning to the Royal Rumble, that there might be quite a few returns in this one, because obviously you've got LA Knight who's missing. Dom Mysterio's just dropped out. I mean, it's looking like he's going to miss WrestleMania, which is a bummer for Dom Mysterio. Wasn't my cup of tea necessarily, but I appreciate all the hard work and effort Dom's put in. So you've also got LA Knight, yeah. to come back as well. So yeah, I think this could be a very, very good Royal Rumble, extremely good. So yeah, obviously we'll have to wait and see going into next year. What else happened? I can't read my own writing there, unfortunately. Oh yeah, Ray versus Austin Theory. It was okay. What I didn't really get was Ray technically went over in that match because Logan Paul interfered, and I just didn't really understand why that was necessary at all. To be honest, it's like, dude, Austin Theory kind of needs the win. Hey DT, how you doing, mate? You're alright. Yeah, Theory needs the win basically. So I don't really understand why they felt compelled to have Mysterio lose um, uh, win by DQ. That just didn't make a great deal of sense to me, to be honest, at all. I had a very good Christmas, DT. Yourself? Yeah, that was all right. Don't you want to? But we didn't really do much, mate. To be honest, we had in fact, it was that sort of chilled out and laid back. I can't remember what we did, to be quite honest. No, we had obviously we had the present opening ceremony for my lad, which took like a million years. Um, because of my wretched sleep apnea, I had to go for a an old man sleep for about an hour, which was quite embarrassing. We didn't really do Christmas dinner, to be honest, mate. We don't really do Christmas dinner, like roast and stuff. Just my lad doesn't like it. My missus isn't really that bothered about it. So we actually do steak for Christmas, and like I know people are like, dude, that's just weird. Um, I quite like it because you literally just you fry up a really nice steak. You do some nice vegetables. You've got some tatties, this, that, and the other. Fry it up, no effort. It's done in 20 minutes. Throw it in the washing up bowl, and then you're home and hosed by like 5:30 at night. So, yeah. And then on the night, I honestly don't know, man. I think I watched a film, maybe. Yeah, yeah, I don't know, DT, to be honest. It was that circumspect, I can barely remember anything of it, basically. But yes, no, dude, it was fine, it was fine. I hope yours was alright as well. You survived it, right, good. Here's to surviving Christmas, my friend. Nothing wrong with steak. Oh, another steak, man. Good lad, good lad. I love steak, mate. I absolutely love it, clearly, obviously. Yeah, no, steak, I would happily, if it wasn't unhealthy, it's not the unhealthiest food in the world, but I would happily eat steak like twice a day if it was actually okay for you, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Looking forward to tomorrow night. Got New Year's Eve with the fam, which should be decent. Um, Again, not really doing that much. My years of night clubbing are very, very much over. I don't even know what the young people do in nightclubs these days. I have absolutely no idea. I didn't like going to nightclubs when I was in my 20s, and I'm in my 40s now. So, so yeah, there we go. There we go. Was there anything else I was going to talk about? Lyra and Bailey came out. Uh, there was a whole promo with Becky Lynch and Maxine. Meh. Um, and the Usos won the tag team titles. Um, and to be honest, guys who end up listening to this as a podcast, this is why this is going to be really short. That was literally it. Um, well done to the Usos. Well done to Jimmy and Jay. I don't really know why we've got the Usos back as a tag team. To be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea. I'm assuming that they've got no plans for Jay to go over in the Royal Rumble, so maybe that's why they've got them as tag. I have no idea. Presumably, they're just keeping Jay away for now while they get the main event thing sorted out. So I don't know, basically. And that, folks, to be honest, and this is actually beneficial for me because I know this sounds really bad, guys, but I'm like horrendously tired, so I'm not going to be on for long tonight. That was basically Monday Night Raw. It was not a lot to write home about, to be completely honest, and that's fine. Like, I'm sure it will be better next week, so we'll be on the road to WrestleMania, which will be very, very good. Very much looking forward to that. So that's always the start of the year for me. Whenever the Royal Rumble comes around, because the Royal Rumble's also when you get paid. When you get paid for the first time in January, and you're like, "Thank Christ, I've survived that." Sorry, if you wonder what I'm doing, I've just lost my pen. There we go. Yeah, and it's always like, hooray, I can pay all those bills that I've not been able to pay for like a month. And then starts getting a bit warmer, and yeah, you've basically got through the winter and stuff. Because the winter, I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, folks. I don't know about anyone else. The winter is doing my head in already, and I'm fully aware that we've only just really got into the bad bit of winter, and I'm not necessarily a huge winter fan, got to be honest. I think it sucks. And I much prefer sunshine, as most people do, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's have a look. I'll be in bed before midnight. Oh, DT, listen, I would, to be honest, mate, I would, because I'm actually going to have it with my mum and my brother. Shout out to the fam. I'm sure they might be watching, possibly. Um, I could happily, if I wasn't seeing them, I'm being completely honest, mate, I could happily go to bed tomorrow at 10. Happily. However, I live in Leeds. Uh, the chances of me being allowed to go to bed at that time with fireworks and chavs throwing things at lampposts and various other things, and God knows what's going to happen on our estate tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's highly unlikely, mate, to be honest. So, but yeah, I would happily go to bed at 10. My missus and my son are having it separately away from me. I think the wife said she's going to be in bed by like 9 or something, because they sleep like the dead, basically, both of them. So, if there was an explosion next to our house, they would literally just still be yeah, they'd just be sleeping happily and wondering what was going on the next day. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just exceptionally tired, dude. It's been a very, 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 very long year, very long year. But we got through it, and we're in a lot better place than we were. Let me go. Piss myself laughing. Mate, get some wine in you, passer. I'm actually going to be the rum DT, to be honest, tomorrow. So I've got well, I haven't got it yet, but I'm just going to get not the big bottles of rum or anything like that. You know the ones that you get from Asda, like the plastic ones that are about yay big, something like that, that cost like a fiver. Asda's own, whatever it is. I'm literally just going to get two of them and then regulate myself to having that, and just have it with, I don't know, guava juice, ribena, whatever, mango juice, stuff like that. Have a few cocktails out of it. And then I know I can regulate stuff on that. I don't really want to be absolutely steaming, to be honest. Because well, I'm meant to be doing one of these the next day, but this is why I haven't put that on the live stream list, because um, I'm meant to be doing a live stream for Leeds versus Liverpool. Because I get the pleasure of playing my hometown team again, which is going to be again hugely embarrassing for me. But I was going to put it on the live listing, and when I was doing my live listings earlier, and I was like, oh, should I be promising people I should come on New Year's, that I'm going to be coming on New Year's Day? Possibly not. Although it might make it for hilarious viewing and watching, but we'll have to wait and see. Yes, that will do it even. Yeah, absolutely, mate, absolutely. No, I will end up being a bit. I probably will end up being maybe not three sheets to the wind, but I'd imagine I'll be at least one sheet to the wind. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, no, it'll be good, mate. It'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be nice to spend some time with the family. Like I said, it's that's actually what I was going to talk about, mate. To be honest, while I was on here, it's just been, as you know, mate, it's been a bit of a year. Very pleased I've survived it. We're in a bit of a better place. This has actually really helped doing the old channel. It's been, yeah, it's been pretty good since the summer. To be honest, it's been. I put this on one of my random posts that you guys may see periodically. When I was just like, I was thinking about where I was in April, and obviously, as a lot of guys know, wasn't in particularly wonderful space, it's fair to say, and I was basically sat alone on my own. Family had gone to where the family had gone to? Family had gone to like Scarborough for a few days. I'd just had my time off work, which I then didn't go back to for a long, long time. Sat with 600 subscribers, and now I'm in a much better place after 6 months of rehab with, not rehab, obviously, but with 1.4 thousand subscribers. So yeah, not a year I choose to repeat ever again if I can help it, to be honest. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Oh, hi British. How you doing, mate? You all right? British A380. Hi, what's up? Are you having a good time? I am British. Yeah, not too bad. I'm just sat here having a chat about pro wrestling. I'm currently watching Arsenal score 3 goals against Aston Villa, which on Match of the Day, which I wasn't aware they'd scored 3 goals. Oh, they scored 4 goals. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How about yourself? Um, yeah, to be honest, guys, that's pretty much it. Wrestling was, like I said. I mean, I'm not. Look, I'm not. I don't think Raw. It wasn't. It wasn't shit. I'll swear it's the new year. Whatever. It wasn't absolute garbage or anything, but it just wasn't particularly. Yeah, it just wasn't a thing, to be honest. So, hopefully it'll be better next week. And yeah, like I said, I'll do the usual spiel, folks, in the minute that people have heard me do. But I'll be back on for Raw next week, so it'll be on next Tuesday. So I'll be covering the CM Punk Bron Breakker match, the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and the Kabuki Warriors. I think they announced another match as well on Raw. I can't remember for the life of me which one it was now. Oh, that's a lovely goal from Arlo, though. Can't believe I'm actually saying that. Yeah. Oh, Gabriel Jesus. Sorry, folks. I'm basically I'm doing this and watching Match of the Day, so it's not me being a rude. You know what? Let's have a, to be honest, mate, I almost didn't get through this year. Oh, I'm sorry, DT, mate. Look, dude. Like I said, I know now. I've been well. Where you were at as well. I wouldn't say personally I was ever in a danger of like as not wanting to be here anymore or anything like that. And mad respect to people who are in that position. By the way, if anyone is struggling, just get the help that you need and speak to someone and whatever. Um, yeah, never got to that position, but I just didn't feel very good about myself, to be honest. But I know it sounds, um, I know it sounds a bit blasé, but like I just didn't really. I'm trying to think. I suppose I just didn't really want to do anything. I just didn't want to see anyone because I think I just reached a point where I was just like, I've been doing the same thing for like 30 years, like from school to university here, and like it's the same variation of the same crap. You know what I mean? I just got to a point where I just literally, and I said this to, I was quite open with the wife because I'm, we speak about this sort of stuff and everything. And I just said I've reached a point where I'm just not really interested. And obviously, she was a bit concerned, and it's fair enough. But she was like, "Well, you need to get interested." I was like, "Well, that's the problem, love. I'm not at all. I don't really care. Like, don't get me wrong. I will go and get a job, but I don't really care at all anymore about trying to do my best and stuff." Which, looking back on it, wasn't great of me because obviously I'm a father to a young child, and I was out stage myself for like, um, I was only in that stage for a few, probably not even weeks, to be honest, DT, maybe a few days, and then it was just one of these, mate, you know what it's like. I literally just went, do you know what? Get your big fat ass out of bed and go to Kirkstall, bloody Abbey. It's a massive park in Leeds, by the way, where we've got like an actual castle. I was just going, get yourself to Kirk's Abbey. It's a nice sunny day. Just go and put yourself outside. And I was like, literally had to grab myself like this and get myself out of the house. And I was just like, oh, go on then. and yeah, I was just like, you know what, the sun's shining. There's a pub over the road, which helps. Uh, and yeah, it just got better from there, basically. But yeah, I know the power now of what this sort of shit can do to people. So yeah. Anyway, that's my random thoughts. Got to go. Oh, bye British. If you've gone, see you later, dude. Thank you for watching as well. Shall I keep going? I know what you mean. Do you? Hey, it's the guy who thinks he's going to get me to pronounce his name, and you never will. How you doing, mate? You all right? Do I own any leather? Do I own any leather? I don't think so that I'm aware of. Do I own any leather? So what I have got as a leather thing, mate. I'll have to clarify this very quickly, but you know, I've got these wristbands that I usually wear. I've got one of those that's like a gothy one where it's got like the not the spikes, but it's got like the metal bits coming out of it. Because I've got a bit of a weird goth new metally side to me as well. Jack of all trades, man. Yeah, I guess that's leather. Possibly. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, here he is. Here he is. Looks like we have the same taste. I bet you look good in a leather jacket. No, I don't. No, no, not for me. I tell you, who looks good in a leather jacket, mate. My lad looks. By the way, anyone who does end up listening to this, I do apologise. It's not exactly wrestling. Like my channel just goes all over the place. So just stick with it. Just stick with it. Yeah, I hate football. I know, Dieter. I know. Dude, that's what I mean. It's what the channel's turned into. I just like speaking to people about the base. I just put a basic header for my channel, and then people can speak about what the f they want to. And apart from those douchebags at the start, who were giving me stick and saying that I look like P Diddy, which in context of what that man was accused of doing, I do not appreciate that, to say the least. Also, like, we're a different shade and colour of black, but that's what ignoramuses will do for you. Um, yeah, no, I'll chat to anyone about anything. What? I've completely forgot what we were talking about now. Oh, who, mate? Oh, no, just these idiots at the start. Like I said, to be honest, Dieter, I've got used to it now. Literally, I've. I think the only time it really affected me was when I was trying to do an AEW show earlier in the year, but that was when I was very, very like cloudy, like I was literally um when I was feeling a bit bad about myself. Now I'm just literally like, see ya, boom. You're fat, see ya, boom. I don't like you, boom. Case in point, boom. There we go. Yeah, like I said, lads, I literally have no time for it. I'm not interested. I get this is the society that we're in, and we've got trolling and stuff, and the young people have got used to it. So, guys, I'm not being funny. I'm from the '90s. Like, it, I don't want to go back too far into my past, but if someone had said that to me 20 years ago, 25 years ago in Derby, um, like. Without wishing to reveal too much about my past, it wouldn't have been a very long conversation. Let's just put it that way. I will just react to it, and it's not me being wound up. That's just the way I am. I'm just like, you're not speaking to me like that, sunshine. I couldn't care less if I'm on YouTube or not. Jog on. Simple as that. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's fine. They're all just pathetic little idiots at the end of the day. So yeah, jog on, sweetheart. Simple as that. I had so many trolls this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, DT, I don't. You lads will know better than me because obviously you've probably both been in this world for a lot longer than I have. I only really started doing this properly, basically this year. I mean, before that, it was just I was just literally putting random stuff on my channel. Now I've actually paid a bit of attention, kind of caught up with things. Like I don't know where all this has come from. It's just like basically what I'm getting at is I don't get why criticizing someone, because my missus has tried to explain to this to me. I don't get why people take solace from abusing other people, if that makes any sense. And like lads have tried to explain it to me, and like, oh yeah, well it just makes them happy and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, why? I don't understand what possible benefit you could have from insulting some rando that you've never met before, and why that would then make you happy. Like, you really, really need to go. Look, and this is from a guy who's now is diagnosed GAD and has had depression this year, and various other things, and counselling during my entire life. And I don't mean this as a disrespectful sentence, but if you are one of those people, I would politely suggest you need to go and speak to a medical professional, because it's not normal. It really is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I can. There'll be footballers that I'll shout at and say, "You're a, you know what," and this, that, and the other. But like, would I actually go on social media to specifically call Cristiano Ronaldo something rhyming with lunt? Well, not really, because Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't know who I am. What possible benefit to me would that provide me? You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. If Cristiano Ronaldo tripped me up in the street by accident and then gave me the high sign, I'd probably have a quiet word in his show, like. But like, other than that, I don't I don't get it. It's it's just it. This is why the channel's like. This is why my channel is what it is, because sometimes it goes from wrestling to Liverpool to um, trauma, depression, bullying, horror sometimes, and various other things, and that's cool. That's fine. But yeah, generally, I just don't get it. I just think it's beyond pathetic, and it's like, if you need that, like, to get you through the day, again, you need to come and speak to someone. So yeah, there we go. Lol 90s. I was born in the 70s. Oh, you don't look old enough, DT. You don't look old enough, lad. I would have put you as younger than me. Crikey. I look like I'm about 70 years old, mate. On my best day. Check this out. I have been told to cut this by the missus, by the way, but I just can't, I cannot be asked at the minute. I don't know if there's any other lads out there at the minute whose grooming regimen has completely gone to pot over winter. Mine's just like, I walk past my, like, I've got like a cabinet with all like my shaving stuff, and I walk past it every day at the moment. I'm just like, I can't be bothered, basically. So yeah, there we go. Only 3 months on YouTube, man. Oh, that's very impressive for what you've done then so far, dude. Hey, Big Dave, how you doing, mate? You alright? Trauma does mad things to people. Yep, true. It's a thing that is normal in children, but as we mature, we stop feeling the need to put others down. Well, I quite agree, dude. I quite agree. I mean, that's how it should work, at least, anyway. But like, I actually, this is just another random thing, and I'm actually quite embarrassed, like, to discuss some of the people that I do with my son now, because I'm not saying all his child people are all perfect. Obviously, there's a lot of rude children, but they all seem, the children that my son hangs out with all seem very grounded. They can have a conversation. Um, they're intelligent. Yeah, they still do kiddie things, and they can call you like, I don't know, Emperor Butthead or something like that. But I mean, we all did that as as kids, basically. Well, maybe that was just me. I don't know, but like, they all seem so well-rounded as children, more than my generation do now. Who are, I'm not saying it's all my generation doing all the trolling, by the way, but I don't know what it is I'm trying to say, but like, I suppose what I'm actually saying is I'm quite embarrassed that I have to like tell my son about this sort of thing when him and his mates don't do stuff like that. I mean, who knows? It might change when they get older, but yeah, I do hold my specific late 90s generation responsible for a lot of this nonsense, to be honest. But that's a whole other subject entirely. If I could change my generation and go to somewhere else, I probably would do. Horror I do like. Oh, DT, I'll happily speak to you about horror, mate. Anytime you want, pal. I just bought. Tell you one thing I did get for Christmas. I don't know if you've seen Weapons. I went to go and see it at the cinema. If you haven't seen it, by the way, go and watch it, mate. Because honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. It was without a doubt the best movie that I saw last year, beyond a shadow of a doubt. One of the best movies I think I've probably ever seen. It was the guy that did. I can't remember his name, but he did Barbarian. That film with I can never pronounce his name. Is it Skarsgård? Not Avengers Skarsgård, but yeah, no, it's really, really good. No, but I love my horror. I mean, I'm just looking now. I'll read to you what I've got. You can't see what I'm looking at now, but literally on the shelf over there, I've got. Let's have a look. Aliens. I've got all the Alien films. Predator, we've just put 28 years later. We've got all the 28 franchises. I've got Scream 1 to 6. What else have we got? Sunshine by Danny Boyle. Inland Empire, which is kind of like a horror, that was done by David Lynch, who's obviously like horror tinged. I've got a lot of the J mangas. So you've got that's J mangas, sorry, J horrors, so like The Ring, which is Ringu, obviously in Japan, and you've got The Grudge. I've got as well. What else have I got? Walking Dead. I've got Wreck. If you've never seen Wreck, mate, watch Wreck. It's like Spanish horror. It came out in like when all the found footage was sort of starting, about 2006, 2007. I went to go see it at Leicester Square, and it was honest that I was on my own in this theatre in Leicester Square. Paid 14 quid for a ticket, by the way. Don't I? Anyway, so I'm sat there watching it, and literally, It's a very good job that I was wearing black trousers. Um, I was literally like came out of the cinema like this. Yeah. What else have I got? Get Out, obviously by Jordan Peele. Us again by what else have I got? Basically, long story short, I've got lots of horror films. And love the Evil Dead. Evil Dead's like my favourite horror franchise, along with Scream. Absolutely love Saw. Saw's just like Saw's like pizza, basically for horror. If you said right, um, you have to watch all 10 Saws over the course of the next 2 days, and don't worry, your family will be taken care of this, that, and the other. I would say, right, sign me up, and I'd happily sit there and watch all the 10 Saws. Is it 10 Saws? I think is it 10 that we've had now? Possibly, yeah. But my favourite ever horror film, without doubt, is The Shining. I absolutely love The Shining. I think The Shining potentially is my favourite film, literally across the board, give or take. But 50 in July, you're not, mate. Actually, well, it's funny you should say that, mate. My missus is 50 in June. So yeah, we'll have a double celebration. Literally 17 short of 1K. Well done, mate. Congratulations. You keep going, DT. Just remember who your friends are when you're rich. I might be getting interviewed and stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember Depression. Yeah, yeah. And he forgot all his friends, and he sits in a golden plated mansion now, like spitting as at the commoners as they like hold their hands out to him. No, I'm sure you want to do that. Not seen it, but I'll look it up. Stephen King. Yeah, I've read many Stephen King books. I actually am one of those weird people. I prefer The Shining film to The Shining book, which I know is sacrilege to a lot of Stephen King readers. I think my favorite book of Stephen King is. God, that's difficult because I've read about. How many have I read of Stephen King? I'd probably have to say it, to be honest. Just because I just really like the way that that's written and stuff. What was the other Stephen King? Oh, for God's sake, I forgot every single thing he's written there. But I've got about 5 or 6, 7, like 6, 7. God's sake. I've yeah, I've got about 7 or 8, 9 of his books upstairs. So yeah, no, I do enjoy Stephen King, and he's a nice bloke as well, who I align with politically, shall we say. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Big Black Sammy Hippier, absolutely, Chris O'Connor, absolutely. Well, funnily enough, before I go, I'm going to mention something about Mighty Red. If you just bear with me a second. Have you seen when the lights go out? I know the film. I know the title, but I haven't seen the film. I know of it, but I haven't seen it. Um, Christine's one of the ones I would say. Do you know? I've never seen Christine the film either. Funnily enough, it would be the second favourite of Stephen King. There was one that he did a while ago. Oh my god, what was the last? You might know better than me, mate. There was a Stephen King book where there were acts. There's a load of children, and I wouldn't say it's recent, but it's in the last, I don't know, last 10 years, something like that. And he's writing about a load of children who are in a facility, and I think they've got what's akin to superpowers. And I think they break out of the facility. What the hell was it called? I've got no idea. But that was the last one that I read. No, yeah, I do like his books. The only trouble is with Stephen King is because I like reading things quite quickly, and you can read 100 pages of Stephen King. You think, haha, I'm nearly there, and you look and you're like, Jesus Christ, I've read 700 pages. There's another 800 plus pages here. What the bloody hell's going on? So yeah, but no, it's good. It's good to have like massive books to read. I just wish I had more time to read, dude. To be honest, like I really, obviously doing this sort of thing doesn't help my cause because I'm far too tired to read. But I would like to make some more time to do reading next year. That's one of the things that suffered since I had my whole depression-y thing a few months ago. Like, because I was a very good reader and I do enjoy reading, but it's just getting the time out, unfortunately. I would love just to have, genuinely, I would love to have 4 or 5 hours a week just to like shut the world out. No music, no social media, no family. And just sit down with a book in peace and bloody quiet and read it. But I mean, the days of me doing that, I think, have well and truly gone until I retire, which isn't going to be very likely. So yeah, there we go. I struggle to focus on books. Yeah, no, I do DT now as well because like mine's more with tiredness. Like it's just like literally. I mean, I was gonna try and do a little bit tonight after I've done this, to be honest, and just like just sort of shit there, chill out there and like read a book. But I know as soon as I open the front cover, I'll be like, chapter one. I was going to say the wretched sleep apnea doesn't help either, unfortunately. So, but yeah, yeah, it is what it is, dude. It is what it is. No, I used to read all the time, DT as well. I think my record. I'm not one of these people that can read like 70 or 80 books. You know, like you get these randos who can read like 150, 160 books a year. One of my exes used to be like that, and I was one of those. I wasn't the best academically, even after I left uni, and I was like, I'm I'm struggling to read 2 books a year here, you know what I mean? But then I got to the stage where I was reading maybe 25 a year, something like that, 25, 30, which I think is a decent haul. But yeah, it is what it is, dude. Uh, Fortunately, I am going to have to wrap this up shortly because some of us still have one more shiny day at work to come tomorrow, and then finally I get a week off. Then I have to go back to work, but then I get my Leon week off, which is what I'm going to leave you with. So, people at DT will not be interested in this, I'm sure, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Right, basically, in 2 weeks, guys who are listening on, I'm in bed already. Good lad, yeah. I was going to say, if I could do this upstairs, DT, I would literally just do live streaming from bed in my dressing gown. I really would, but unfortunately, basically, the reason I'm always downstairs is my missus is on the second floor of the house because we've both got like sleep problems, which I'm sure she won't mind me saying. I've got my sleep apnea, which wakes her up. She's got a sleep paralysis, which is if anyone wakes her up, then she can't get back to sleep. So my son slug. My son sleeps like the dead. So basically, long story short, we have to all sleep in different rooms, which is I know it's a bit weird from the outside. It kind of works in our house. We have a very weird house anyway. So yeah, so there we go. I know I've seen you dressing down very smart as well. Um, yeah, just quickly, guys. Before I head off, right? Basically, I have just managed to procure tickets to actually these guys in actual real life, not me just coming out of random stupid videos with using, I don't know, washing powder as a prop that I did the other day for some reason. But yes, I'm actually going to Liverpool. Night DT, see you later, mate. Thanks for chatting to us, pal. Yeah, so I'm going to be going to actual Liverpool in when is it? 12 days time for the Liverpool versus Barnsley FA Cup match. As in, I will actually be there, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Should be awesome. So, just very quickly, I'm going to be going to Liverpool Monday the 12th, probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. Aiming to be on Merseyside just before midday, so I'm going to go around a couple of toy shops, get myself booked into the hotel. Then I'm going to very, very quickly get changed, go to a boozer somewhere, get a quick pint, and then I'll be going to Anfield. So I'm going to do like a live walk round. So I've put that on the channel as well. So I'm aiming to do that about 5:30, give or take. I'm going to turn the TV off actually because Everton are about to score a second goal, which I do not wish to see. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to be Anfield about 5:30. Game starts at 7:45. I will record all the 7 goals that Barnsley score because, of course, I'm watching it and I know exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Then I'll do some live stuff from around the ground after it's finished. And then to be quite blunt, I will be going around the L1 area getting quite drunk and quite merry. It should be good. Next day, I'll be going back to Anfield as well to like do one of my Geek Boy Liverpool Story podcasts. So I'll be recording it live there. So I'll take you around the murals and stuff that I usually do and take you around the ground. And there'll be some bonus footage, hopefully, from in and around the city centre. I'm going to try and do like a Liverpool vlog this time, so not of the ground. I'm going to try and do it of the city as well because just to throw it out there, I love Liverpool as a city. I mean, take away my love for the football club, I absolutely love Liverpool as a city. I love the people. I love the crack down there. I love just the atmosphere. I think it's a beautiful city. It's got its problems like everywhere else, but yeah, no, I absolutely love Liverpool. I love the Scousers. Yeah, they're just absolute quality. So, yeah, very, very much looking forward to that. So that's going to be my first big thing of the year. In terms of stuff that's coming up, or seeing meant to be a wrestling. Uh, there's meant to be a wrestling show that's turned into a therapy show via horror and also disseminating trolls. I will be back. Right, guys, I'll be completely honest. Obviously, it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, and a lot of subscribers will know I have mentioned on a few occasions that whilst I don't like a drink every day, I have been known to have the odd drink at the weekend. This is New Year's Eve tomorrow, so how to put this politely? I might not necessarily be in the condition to be doing a live stream of Leeds versus Liverpool, which is what I would normally be doing. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm not promising anything. If I don't, I'll be on January the 2nd, which would be what day are we on today? It's so confusing this time of year. Yeah, it's Tuesday today, isn't it? So yeah, if I'm not on, I definitely won't be on tomorrow. Although I am quite tempted to put the camera on me because that would be quite entertaining. In fact, I'll apologise right now because I may actually go on live after midnight, so that could be highly amusing. So, hey, how you doing again, mate? You're all right. Hello again. Yeah, just wrapping up, dude. Now, Yeah, I've also got an AEW review to do as well. That's also going to be on the Friday, so I'll either do AEW or Liverpool. Saturday night for the wrestling crew, I usually do late night SmackDown show. I'm not too bad, thanks, mate. Yourself? Yeah, I usually do the late night SmackDown show on Saturday because I can't stay up to watch it till the early hours on Friday, unfortunately. I'll be on again on Sunday if you're a Liverpool fan for a reaction to Fulham versus Liverpool, which I'm not looking forward to because Fulham are actually quite good at the minute. Next time I'll be on after that will be Monday Night Raw again, so that'll be yeah, not too bad, mate. Thank you. Um, I'll be back on for Monday Night Raw this time next week because I usually do like Monday Night Raw. Let's have a look. Oh, Big Dave, an actual wrestling question. Oh, cool. Nice one. Yeah, yeah, I'm more than happy to answer wrestling questions, Dave. Random question: who's your favourite WWE wrestler? We need more UK wrestling creators. I'm trying my best, Big Dave. I'm trying my best. See, the trouble is, Dave. My channel's kind of, well, as you might have guessed, is kind of a bit all over the place. Like, I literally have loads of different playlists. So, like, I've got Comic Cons, I've got horror, I've got toy hunts, Liverpool, um, wrestling. I've got one for my national country, which is Ghana. Um, I've got a one which is more on the, I wouldn't say political, but socially conscious side playlist, which I'll just leave at that. I probably should specialise, Dave, to be honest, but like basically people have said, why don't you just do wrestling or just do Liverpool? And the short answer is I don't want to. I like wrestling and I like watching Premier League football and I like watching horror films and I like going to Comic Cons and I like collecting toys. So yeah, I probably would be better off just specialising in one or two, but meh, that's where my channel works and I quite like my channel like that. To answer your question, see, my favourite WWE wrestler of all time, in fact, I'll give you a three-pronged answer. My favourite of all time is Stone Cold, without a shadow of a doubt. Steve got me through legitimately like the death of my father. That's how much I love him because he after me old fella died. I've told this story before, but like I was really lost, and then I turned on the TV and saw Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning people and stuff when I was in a really bad place. And literally, I would not have got through that whole period of my life 20 odd years ago without Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, yeah, no, I absolutely love the guy. My favourite current wrestler is CM Punk, just because I just like I just like him. I know he gets on people's nerves. I just like his snark. I just like the way he is, and I like the way he just doesn't back down. And I like the way that he's just imperfect. He gets a lot of things wrong, Phil, and he does a lot of things that contradict each other. And he's not perfect. He's not a role model, and I think that's probably what I like about him. He's a bit broken, and he reminds me a little bit of me. Maybe I don't know. I'm not saying I'm like CM Punk, obviously, but to fully answer your question, the wrestler that I think is the best of all time is Shawn Michaels, personally, in my opinion. So Steve's my favourite, but Shawn is the best professional wrestler that I have ever seen personally. Ric Flair would be a very, very close second, but I didn't see as much as Rick. I missed all the wrestling matches that he had with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat territory days, WCW. I know bits and pieces that I've watched since, but I only really saw Flair from like WCW time, sort of like 97 to 98. Then I saw a lot of his run in WWE as well. I mean, he had some brilliant, Flair had some brilliant matches in WWE. Obviously, his last match against Shawn Michaels. I thought the match he had against Mania at WrestleMania against The Undertaker was, it's not really talked about that often. I think it was an absolute masterclass. What was the other match he had? I can't remember now. Who else did Flair have the match against? Really like the one that he had against Mick Foley randomly. because I know those two didn't get along many years ago. So, yeah, no, I think Shawn Michaels for me is the best professional wrestler of all time, but my favourite will always be Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's a long form way of answering your question. I hope that answers the question anyway. You can maybe do a separate channel for the wrestling. Either way, it's your channel, mate. Do what you like. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, Dave. To be honest, I have actually thought of doing that. I, basically, just a very quick little story, and I'm sure that I've mentioned this like a million times, but this channel actually came to pass because I had a random idea in 2000, when was it, 2022? Did I start 2020? It's either 22 or 23, I forget. Anyway, um, I used to have an eBay account. Well, I've still got an eBay account now. And I suddenly realised I was getting followers on my eBay account because people seemed to like the stuff that I was selling. And at the time, I actually wanted to make an eBay business instead of going to work. That was my plan. I was going to retire at the age of 30, which has clearly not happened, sadly. Anyway, I thought to myself, what can I do to publicise myself a little bit more? Um, and then I saw a load of people were doing videos on YouTube, but just their eBay channels, if you see what I mean. I thought, oh, yeah, that's all right. I don't mind being on camera. That's not the worst idea in the world. So I took a couple of videos in my bedroom just to show my toys and stuff, and what I was going to be selling. And then there was one day that my missus and my son went to Scarborough, because that's where all the family are and everything. Um, and I can't remember why I was down where I was, but basically we live around the corner from Melon Road, which obviously is Leeds United, goes without saying. And I'm walking down, and I suddenly thought to myself, I've got my phone on me now, haven't I? And I suddenly thought, do you know what, sod it, what the hell? So basically, I took this, like, it was a really crappy video of, like, Leeds United, basically, and then put it on YouTube, and didn't think anything of it. I thought, my thinking was, right, oh, those Leeds fans who obviously live in Leeds, um, they'll, if they see this, they'll look at my they'll look at my eBay videos and want to buy stuff from me. It hadn't actually occurred to me that there was another way of doing it that didn't involve eBay. And then, yeah, so I put the video on. I checked it about 3 days later, and it had something like, I don't know, 35 views, something along those lines. I thought to myself, oh yeah, that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Um, Left it for 2 weeks, something along them lines. I clicked back on, and I was like, why does that say I've got 1,000 views? And I was like, hang on, where have all these subscribers come from? I only had two the other day. And I was like, holy you know what? There's like 15 subscribers. And I was like, oh. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, long story short, basically, that's how the whole channel started. Anyway, so I kind of, I like the basic what I'm getting at, the way that the channel is like, it shouldn't exist in the first place. Basically, it was a fluke, that's turned into a fluke that's turned into a fluke. Um, yeah, I quite like having different playlists and stuff because, like, I think that's why a lot of people have, like, well, not loads. I'm not an arrogant, you know what, but like, I think that's why maybe a few people have subscribed to me and stuff because I've seen people clicking onto video. You know, when you can see history and stuff, people have clicked onto videos and then gone, oh, I don't know, he's a horror fan who also likes Comic Con, or he's a advocate for, I don't know, Pride, who also likes WWE, or he's been to AEW, but he's also goes to football grounds and blah 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 blah. So it kind of links together. So maybe one day I might do, but yeah, that's basically the whole reason why the channel looks the way it does. Basically, anyway, that's a great reason, man. Sorry about your old man. He's with you, I'm sure. I'm a big Chef Hardy. Oh yes. Sorry, I was trying to do the music then. It was very poor actually. I don't think Jeff Hardy wants so CM Punk I struggle to get behind, but fair enough, man. Can agree with that. HBK. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, dude, to be honest, Punk is not for Punk wasn't for me after that stunt that he pulled at the end of his run at AEW. I was actually at Wembley Stadium that night and heard all about the commotion after I'd left with him and bloody Jack Penn. I was not best pleased, to say the least. Obviously, Punk does have history. I know he says that he's changed and everything, but there's still something at the back of my mind. I am just waiting for him to lose his rag and end up leaving WWE. Hopefully he doesn't. Now he seems in a better place than he was, and AEW is obviously in a better place. It was just a very, very bad fit of an organisation and a person who were always never going to get on. But now my favourite memory of Jeff Hardy. Well, I've got. I love the match with him and the Undertaker, the original match with the Undertaker on the ladder. When the Hardys came back at WrestleMania, they got that massive hop. I think was it a 4-way tag match or something like that. It's about 10, 12 years ago, something along them lines, and the pop literally, like, I thought my screen was going to blow up. It literally was like ear pierced. I was like, what is all that about? Um, but I think my favourite Jeff Hardy moment of all time, dude, was when he'd faced The Undertaker the week before, or they'd had some sort of altercation, and Jeff was acting really weird, even for Jeff Hardy after the match. And then Undertaker comes out next week on SmackDown. He was cutting this promo, and then all of a sudden, there's this like video that comes on the Titantron. And it's the first time Jeff Hardy had done like the obviously he's done face paint before, but it's the first time he'd done like the real like horror esque type face paint, and it was in this grimy, dirty little room, and I was just like, wow, that is absolute quality. And yeah, Jeff's another one. Jeff's made a couple of mistakes. I think it's fair to say he's made a couple of mistakes here and there, just like the rest of us. But again, because I am of the same generation of as Jeff Hardy. How do I put this? I haven't made the same level of mistakes as Jeff with some of the things that he has made the mistakes with, but I have made the same mistakes as Jeff when I was in my 20s with glug, 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 glug. So you live and you learn at the end of the day. I think Jeff's just got to a point now where he's finally learning at a very advanced age. Not that he's old, but I think Jeff Hardy's literally my age now. So, no, at the end of the day, dude, Jeff Hardy will go down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I mean, not from a technical standpoint or anything like that. He's not like a Kurt Angle or a no disrespect to him, by the way, either. It's not his specialism, but he's not like a Kurt Angle or an Eddie Guerrero or, really technical, proficient pro wrestler, or like a Brian Danielson or someone like that. But he makes moments, and he makes people feel things, and that's what pro wrestling's all about at the end of the day. So yeah, swing a walk for Jeff Hardy. Let's have a look. Spontaneous decisions are the best. Yes, mate, absolutely. Oh yeah, like I said, to be honest, the only reason I even had the eBay idea at the first place was my. I think my missus went to the. I think she went to go and get a shower, and my son, who was quite still a young child at the time, he was in the bath. I was upstairs cleaning my room, and it literally just hit me about the eBay stuff. And then I'm down the road at Ellen Road. Then it hit me there. And then all of a sudden I was like, hang on, wait a minute. I go to gigs. I go to Liverpool matches sometimes. I go to football stadiums. And literally I went, oh, like this. And I've told this to my son later, and obviously he's grown up with all this technology. And he's just like, Dad, seriously, did you not know? I was like, no, well, no, not really. I don't bloody know. So, um, went to a Liverpool match. Got I don't know, I think we beat Southampton 3-0 or something like that. Got all the goals on again, thought to myself, oh, I'll get in. Hopefully this will get like 300 views for 10 videos. I woke up the next day, there's like 25,000 views. And I'm like, oh, I think I get this now. So it's just been fluke after fluke after fluke. Wherever it goes anyway, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I enjoyed doing it, so it's fine. Whatever. Agreed. He'll be one of the best ever for what he meant to my generation. I'm 25. Jeff Hardy's always equal to seeing into it. How much we loved it. Well, yeah, each to his own. Dave, each to his own. I mean, like, Jeff's definitely in my top. See, because I've watched wrestling for years, because I'm way older than you. I've watched wrestling since 86, 87. So there's a lot of wrestlers. So I think Hardy would go into my top 40, and that's a decent thing. Don't need to not me being rude, but I've a lot of pro wrestling. So I've literally got 30, 40 wrestlers from the Attitude Era as long as well, Jeff, who I could name. There's wrestlers now that I really respect as well. There's indie wrestlers that I love. There's New Japan wrestlers that I love, and TNA wrestlers, and so on and so forth. So I literally have got like a huge amount of things to choose from. Yeah, the Cena thing. I respect John Cena a lot more than I did. I said this a few weeks ago, to be honest. I'm glad that we're ending with wrestling, actually, because people that listen on, because this comes out as a podcast, people on the podcast will just be sat there going, yeah, he's gone off on a tangent again. I kind of had this thing with Cena. I wasn't one of the let's go Cena sucks people and saying that he couldn't wrestle. Like, I always knew John Cena could wrestle. It was like people that say claimed he couldn't wrestle. It's like, mate, like he might not be able to wrestle well. Not that he couldn't wrestle well, but he might not be the most technically proficient wrestler of all time. But to accuse the man of not being able to wrestle is just ludicrous, really. But I never had a problem with John himself. It was the booking around John. I didn't necessarily have a problem with him going over in 60-70% of his matches. Fair enough, that's fine. It just got to the stage where there was at least a 2 or 3 year period somewhere in there where Cena won every single match, every single week. And it got to the point where, I mean, I pretty much nearly gave up on WWE. I was just like, I just can't watch this anymore. There was the whole, I think the thing that summed it up for me was the whole thing with the Nexus. And I'm just literally like, because obviously when the Nexus came in, they destroyed the ring, and no one had ever really done that, to be honest. And you had Daniel Bryan choking Justin Roberts with a tie, and this, that, and the other, and it was absolute mayhem and chaos. And I was like, what is this that's going on? And then they had John Cena eventually join the Nexus. And I thought, this might be a really good idea to like drag him down. And then basically the program was over in the space of, what was it, 3 weeks, and he just went over on every single person and beat them all, and then the Nexus were no more. And I'm just like, well, you've just thrown away like potentially 8 to 10 months of story there just to put John over. I don't know. But like I said, I think basically with Cena, it was always the booking of Cena. I've never had a problem with John personally, to be honest. I mean, not that I know the bloke, obviously. He comes across genuinely. It could be, at the end of the day, he's an actor. He could be a very good actor. John Cena comes across, do you know what, as a decent lad who you could go and have a bevy with, or a couple of beers or a glass of wine. He comes across as a genuinely lovely man. And yeah, fair play. He has changed my mind on his wrestling as well. One of my favourite Cena matches, in fact, my favourite Cena match was John Cena versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam about, I want to say it was about 8 years ago. Absolute Stone Cold classic, pardon the pun. Bloody fantastic match. Yeah, I was quite upset when he retired the other day, actually, because I was just like, John Cena's been in my life since I was 20 years old, and I'm 45 now, and he's just retired. I'm like, why is John Cena retiring for? He only just started wrestling a few minutes ago, but yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I was never a big Cena guy, but I do have lots of respect for him, and definitely have lots of respect for Jeff Hardy as well. yeah, folks, like I said, that's pretty much it from me, to be honest. Was there anything else I was going to talk about? Off the top of my head. Um, oh, yes, just very quickly. Like I said, I will be, next time I'm on talking about wrestling, at least, to end it with at least wrestling, will be AEW Dynamite, which should be on January the 2nd, I think. I'm not totally sure. Again, it depends how much glug glug I've had on New Year's Eve, basically. Oh, last minute. I will. You're all right. Yeah. So next time I'll be on for wrestling will be AEW. Next time I'm on after that will be this Saturday, where I do the late night SmackDown reaction show. I need to change the name of that show because it's just I can barely remember it. And then the next time after that I'll be on will be the Raw Rumble. Jesus Christ. This is how I started this show tonight with just absolute nonsense, by the way. Um, what I meant to say was I will be back on next Tuesday for the late Monday Night Raw reaction show. I'm really looking forward to this one as well because obviously it's the one with Baker facing CM Punk and Rhea Ripley and Kabuki Warriors and all that, so it should be really good. I may even watch it live and possibly gut my way through work the next day, but I'm an old man, so I don't think I'll be doing that, to be completely honest. And in terms of other wrestling stuff, I'm hoping to get my tickets for AW All In, excuse me, because I think they come out in about 3 weeks, I want to say, so I'll be getting them as soon as possible. I was going to go and see WWE, funnily enough, in Newcastle, but I got the tickets for Liverpool instead, and like I can't really afford to go to WWE. And hey, yeah, how you doing? You're all right. Um, I can't really afford to do WWE and also do Liverpool in the space of 4 days. And in fact, I was encouraged not to do so by my vaunted wife, who was asleep upstairs. When I say encouraged, I don't think it was necessarily a request that I don't do both things here. I won't be seeing WWE, but I will um, hopefully get tickets for, because they should be back in April, I would have thought, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm hoping to get tickets, fingers crossed. Yes, Arsenal. Hope you have a lovely New Year's Eve celebrations. Oh, thanks, yeah, you as well. Arsenal, yeah. Well, I mean, what can I say? Yeah, what can I say? I've literally just been watching Match of the Day, funnily enough. I mean, you've just destroyed the best team in the league, basically. Well, not the best team in the league, you know what I mean, as in you've just literally destroyed, on form, the best team in the league. And, like, the first half seemed, I thought Arsenal were the better side from what I saw, but Villa seemed to keep it really tight and everything. And then, literally, I was getting ready to do this, and, like, basically, Arsenal have just gone in and absolutely massacred the Villa. And the really disturbing thing is, I've just suddenly done the math, as the Americans would say, and there's a certain team in red who are going to be visiting the Emirates Stadium in 8 days' time. Um, I can't quite think of who they are. Um, all I'll say is hopefully the game will be abandoned because of snow, or maybe the bus can go the wrong way, or we can just hide behind a wall and refuse to play the game. I do, of course, mean that Liverpool will be going to the Emirates Stadium, sadly, which if we can concede one goal less than Villa, I think at the moment I would probably take that, and that's about as positive as I can be about that match, to be honest. Hopefully City can save from Arsenal in the league, though. They do look the real deal, they being Arsenal. Yeah, Dave, to be honest, I think Arsenal. I've said this to you, yeah, previously. I I think Arsenal will win the league by between 7 and 8 points. To be honest, I just think they've got too much for Man City. They look like too much of a. I look at Arsenal, I see a team at the minute, and they don't look panicked. That's the difference. With Arsenal previously, they've always had that panic especially with the fans as well. Obviously, I know this fan because we were so panicked because we wanted to win the league so badly, and then eventually Liverpool just stopped panicking, and then they won the league in 5 years or whatever. And Arsenal just look that way at the minute. Man City don't. I won't say they don't look like a team, but I don't know what it is with Man City. Obviously, eye test wise, they're doing well. I don't know what it is. They just don't look. I can't put my finger on it with Manchester City. Actually, they just don't look like they're. They don't look as cohesive as Arsenal, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that's the right word, but they just look not like they've been thrown together, but they just look like a load of basically with the things with City, they look like a load of really, really good footballers who know how to win leagues, who have just been told, right, you guys get out there, you some of the best players in the world, figure it out. And I'm not saying Guardiola's not coached them or anything like that, but you can tell with Arteta. I think Arteta will be probably in his master bedroom at the minute with like sketch pads, notebooks, working out how to win the next match that like I said, I hope they get a few injuries before the playoffs. Crikey. I like I said, I would happily jump for joy and take a point. I don't think Liverpool have got a hope in hell of getting anything from Arsenal at all. I could see it being, like I said, not to be too negative. If someone offered me 2-1 to Arsenal now, I would actually consider shaking hands and saying cheers. Come on, Sunderland. Hopefully it's a close race at least. Whoever wins it. Oh well, it'll be Liverpool. We're making our run now, you see. So what Liverpool are planning on doing is we're going to win the next 20 matches on the bounce. And then we're going to have the party on the Strand like we did last year. And sadly, Arsenal and Manchester City will be going home with nothing. That was our plan to like strap people, you see. So. Uh, no, but I can assure that we will. Liverpool will not be getting their hands on that trophy or any other trophy this season. We have been hopeless most of the time, and it's getting better for Liverpool, but it's just yeah, you can tell we're not going to do much this season. But at least we're not losing all the time now. Anyway, guys, like I said, thank you everyone for watching. It's been absolutely fantastic speaking to all of you. Thanks, Dave, for the wrestling stuff. That was very, very cool, mate. You're welcome anytime. I'm trying to think if there's something else that I need to tell you guys about. I've told you about Liverpool. That I'm going to see Liverpool. If you've just come in, by the way, and you don't know, I'm going to see Liverpool versus Barnsley live at Anfield. So there'll be vlogs and match day vlogs and this, that, and the other. Told you about AW. Got a couple of vlogs that are coming up. Thank you for everyone who watched the Christmas vlogs and stuff and all that business last night. That was awesome. Cheers. Yeah, I think that's about it. First, in terms of pro wrestling, I haven't really got a big fix, so I'll be doing basically Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown from January. Every single week, not on the day, but I usually do it the day after, just to like work and family commitments and stuff. So I'll be going back to normal on that. The next big thing that I'm doing for WWE will be Royal Rumble, which I love the Rumble. I cannot wait for. I think that's only 4 weeks away now as well. I might do a whole watch along for it. I'm not sure. I might just do a watch along for the actual Royal Rumble, if you see what I mean. So I don't know if they're going to do the women's or the men's first, but if it's the ladies at the end, I might just do the women's Royal Rumble at the end. So I haven't decided yet, but yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So hopefully you guys can join me for that as well. And then yeah, like I said, folks. In fact, if you do keep an eye out on the second, I've actually done like a trailer, like not movie style. It's just like a trailer that a 4-year-old could have done, put together basically, where I'm discussing everything that I'm doing, hopefully for this calendar year, including seeing these guys. Can't wait. Bring on England at the World Cup. Uh, I need to stop saying that because I'm going to get beaten up by the lads eventually. Um, but yeah, I've got a trailer of everything that I'm planning on doing this year, so that's going to be released on Friday, which is Toy Shorts Friday on the channel, if you don't know. So I put a load of toy shorts and action figures and collectibles and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you tune in for that, basically it'll give you an indication as to what I'm up to this year. But yeah, right guys, it is midnight and I should have gone to bed about half an hour ago. Oh dear, it's been great. Thank you for everyone for speaking to me tonight. Thank you, Big Dave. Thank you, yeah, for the last few minutes as well. I wish you all happy New Year. Oh, at the last minute, here comes Jacob. Hi, Jacob, you're right. 67410. Right, I'll just read this quickly as well. They need to call some of the NXT talent to SmackDown. Right, Jacob, I will just stay on to answer this quickly. You're a man after my heart, mate. I literally was saying that about 40 minutes ago. The SmackDown situation is getting desperate. And I don't mean that rudely to the talent on SmackDown, because obviously they have a lot of talented wrestlers there, but Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes cannot carry an entire show on their own every single week. I like Dragunov. I think he's fine where he is. I don't know what the hell is going on with Sami Zayn. He just seems to have been called up and he's now not being used. One of the things that's killing SmackDown at the minute is the whole nonsense with I forgot what they're called now. The MFTs. I'm sorry to be rude, but those of you who've watched on before will know what I think about the MFTs and Solo Sikoa. This isn't me hating on them. I'm sure Solo Sikoa is a very good wrestler. He had a really good match with Gunther the other day. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and he's very, very talented young man. I just don't like the group, and I don't like the way Solo Sikoa is presented. I do not buy him as the lead of the group. I buy him as an absolute killer who goes into the ring and just batters people, and that's fine. I don't buy him as this mafia boss thing gimmick that they've got at the minute. And I mean, the MFTs it's so diabolically awful. It's I don't think I've hated the storyline more since I couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even tell you. It's absolutely dreadful. It's draining the life out of the program. You've got people, and again, I don't want to call specific people out. That these segments that you've got with Meechin and EFAB, and there's some of them that like drag on for like 3 or 4 minutes at a time, and I'm like, what are we doing? There's crickets in the ground, in the arena, and again, no respect to both women. It's not a knock on women's wrestling or anything like that. I thoroughly enjoy watching Jade. I like watching. I think Tiffy's fantastic. Trying to think of the other women on the show actually. Who else is on there? No? See, that's the thing with SmackDown. I literally can't even name you a bloody wrestler at the minute. I. Yeah, to your point, Jacob. To be honest, what I would do, and I said exactly the same as you earlier. I would empty, not completely empty NXT. Obviously, so you can't have them losing all that talent because then their brand will suffer. But if you think of how many people are in reserve for NXT, I mean, literally, they've got about. I think they've just taken. I think I read the other day they took on an extra 100 wrestlers the other day, like in developmental for NXT, like 100. I mean, not that obviously not all to go to the roster, obviously they're in training and this, that, and the other. But like, I'm just like NXT will be fine. That's the whole point of it is a development league. I know NXT is good, but they are fundamentally a pathway to get to SmackDown and more thingy to get to Raw. So I'm not. I wouldn't empty NXT, but put it this way: I would have Obafemi's already going, which is fine. I would have I'd have Ricky Saints on Raw personally right now. After watching for AEW, I think he's a brilliantly talented lad. He doesn't need to be on NXT for me. It's scandalous to me that Ethan Page is on NXT. He should be one of the top guys in either SmackDown or Raw because I've been watching Ethan, watched him on the Indies, watched him. I love his YouTube channel that he does when he does toy collecting. I've watched him wrestle on his league that he does as well in Canada. Um, and also, yeah, watched him for AEW and watched him for NXT. Ethan Page, I think, is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Personally, I'm very, very high on him, and he needs to be on the main roster for me. I would have Javon Cordor. I don't think Blake Monroe particularly needs to be there. Obviously, she was wrestling in AEW as I forgot her gimmick name. Bugger. But she, you know what I mean. She was on AEW. Does she need to be on it? I'd probably suggest not. I like Sol Ruka and who's the girl that wrestles with Sol Ruka? It's like a mix and match one. There's Sol Ruka, and there was like the I'll just call the goth woman because I can't remember her name. I like Tatum Paxley as well. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have all these people come at the same time, but I've got to be honest, I'll pull out at least 7 or 8 NXTs and put them. I'd just have them in for the Royal Rumble onwards, and then I'd pull out another 5 or 6 and add them to the roster in the day after WrestleMania. I just think they need a whole shake up on SmackDown because it's just I was actually enjoying SmackDown to be honest up until about SummerSlam, and then there was one SmackDown. So I'll stop my rant in a minute first, but there was one SmackDown that I watched about 3 months ago, and the reviews on the channel if you want to have a look. It's the worst wrestling show potentially that I've ever seen. Diabolical. There were 20 minutes, I think. Let me put this there. There was a 20-minute match involving B-Fab, Meechin, and Julia and her handler, whose name I have forgotten. The one who does this with a handbag, and it has the lawyer gimmick. I mean, I've never seen anything so terrible. It would honestly, I don't want to be rude to the wrestlers. Be positive. It was legitimately one of the worst wrestling shows I have ever seen in the history of my life. Dreadful. Yeah, but there we go. It's definitely a good idea. It needs some life. Yeah, agreed. NXT is better than SmackDown. I agree, Jacob. To be honest, Jacob, I've actually been thinking of switching up and not reviewing SmackDown, reviewing NXT. In fact, I think it's NXT on now, actually, or is it on in? Oh God, it's on in like it's only about 50 minutes, isn't it? I would love, mate. I would happily, if I could do this for a living, which you never know, one day, fingers crossed, I would happily be up half the night watching NXT, but sadly I have to go to the actual other real job that I have. But yeah, I would rather watch NXT at the moment with SmackDown. Joe Hendry, he's another. I would just literally, I would just build the whole thing around Joe Hendry now. Get Jacob Fatu back, put LA Knight back on SmackDown. Soon as KO gets healthy, if he does get healthy, fingers crossed, I would just put KO on SmackDown. I would have Randy Orton, and because I don't think Raw needs that much more talent. If you look at the lads and lasses on there, they're so deep as a roster. They don't need many more people, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, mate. Ethan Page, Obafemi, yes, definitely Trick Williams. What a wrestler he is. So, Sol Ruka, Javon Evans, Zarya, yeah, definitely. Also, it's 3 hours. Wrestling commentator. It doesn't need to be 3 hours. Yeah, the pairing of her and Julia makes no sense. Oh, yes, of all, Jacob, it doesn't need to be 3 hours. Agreed. Oh, Dave, seriously, that the what they've done to Julia is disgraceful. Why she needs to be with? I'm not having a go at the other. What the hell is her name? I've completely forgot her name. You know what? You both know what I'm on about anyway. Um, I don't understand why they brought her in under that gimmick in the first place. It why, why is she LA Law? I literally don't understand. Um, it's just, yeah, um, yeah, um, those lads. I tell you what, to be continued, next time I'm on, because yeah, we definitely need to talk about NXT versus SmackDown because it's actual unbelievable garbage. It really is. Right, guys. I am going to have to head off now because I have got work in the morning, and that's not really cool for a supposed due. I have to pay the bills, sadly. So yes, I will. Good night. Thanks all of you for watching. Thanks for the question, Jacob, at the end. It was awesome having that conversation with you about it. Like I said, I'll be back on for wrestling in a couple of days' time. So if you want to pick it up from there, more than welcome to. It's been lovely speaking to you. Dave's been lovely speaking to you as well, man. And everyone else that's interacted tonight. And yeah, it's been a good show. I've really enjoyed this. Right, guys. Have a great New Year's Eve tomorrow. Don't drink too much. I will not be taking my own advice. And yeah, I'll see you guys on January 2nd. Cheers, Dave, as well. Cheers, Jacob. Right, see you guys later.